Bolder, smarter and safer. It seems this is the new charter for the modern 7-seat SUV, and the new 4th generation Kia Sorento is a perfect demonstration, especially in this flagship GT line form. So in this comparison, we're putting the new Sorento up against the benchmark of this segment in recent years, the Mazda CX-9.
Large SUV buyers are pretty spoilt for choice in 2020, with the inclusion of a new Sorento plus updated offerings on their way from Toyota and Hyundai. In this comparison, we're going straight to the top of the pops, seeing just how much 7-seat SUV you can get with a $70,000 budget. The 4th generation Kia Sorento is all new, while the Mazda CX-9 has been on the scene since 2016, receiving its last major update in 2018. Both these models have had significant price hikes in their latest guise, the Kia up by $4,000 and the Mazda by about $2,500. Since the Kia is the all-new shiny offering, we'll start with it.
It's worth pointing out that only 17 years ago, the Sorento was an all-new body-on-frame SUV that was looking to take Kia in a new direction. Now in its 4th generation, the new model has a much bigger on-road focus. It's 10mm longer, 10mm wider, and it has a 35mm longer wheelbase. It's got a lot of new technology. I mean, it even parks itself. This is a big step forward. Those bigger exterior dimensions have translated to a roomier cabin with excellent passenger amenity across all 3 rows. Up front, it's all about the screens. You get a 10.25-inch centre display and a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster that controls all the key functions. It's just a clever cabin as well. You can pair 2 phones concurrently to the Bluetooth, and you can even speak to the rearmost passengers via the speakers. Further back, every passenger has access to an air vent and a USB point, and there are 4 ISOFIX attachment points and 5 top tether points throughout the cabin, more than the Mazda on both counts.
There are some big ticket items in safety as well. A centre airbag in the front row, which is designed to stop occupants clashing heads in the event of a collision, along with a new blind spot view camera. Like the Mazda, the Sorento also boasts autonomous emergency braking and the latest electronic aids.
There's a bit to get your head around with those safety features at first, but after some time at the wheel, they operate really effectively in the background and actually complement a newfound solidity for the Sorento on the road. The initial on-road impression of the new Sorento is strong. It sits flat through corners, it isolates occupants from bumps in the road really effectively, and it offers decent feel and feedback from the controls. In fact, of these 2 cars, it's the quietest on coarse chip sections of bitumen as well.
Under the bonnet of our test car is the flagship 2.2-litre turbo diesel that beats the Mazda's petrol engine for torque, but can't quite match its power figure. The engine sends drive to all 4 wheels via a new 8-speed dual-clutch automatic with a shift-by-wire dial. There's also a petrol V6 available, plus forthcoming plug-in hybrid and electric grades that will arrive in 2021.
The diesel is incredibly efficient in reality. In fact, we managed 8.2 litres per 100 Ks across our test loop, whereas the Mazda came home with a 13.2 litre per 100 K rating. So a big difference there. I've got to be honest, the diesel is a little bit gruff, a little bit coarse at low RPM, so much so that you'll feel it vibrating through the seat at idle speed. But beyond that, the power curve is smooth and accessible. And with the new 8-speed dual-clutch automatic doing the shifting, you're spoiled with low-down diesel torque, but also quick shifting and quite a sporty demeanour to the drivetrain. Otherwise, this feels like new territory for the Sorento. It's sportier than before, but it also feels lighter on its feet. Sporty, light on its feet? Well, those are some of the key descriptors of Mazda's CX-9 as well, and just some of the reasons why it's one of our favourites in the Car Sales Garage. In fact, the CX-9 took out our 2016 Car Sales Car of the Year award. So here we're revisiting it in top spec Azami trim. Now, polished is a word that we've used to describe the CX-9 in the past, and it still rings true today. This car feels smaller than it really is on the road. It's easy to place inside your lane and it offers genuine feel and feedback from the steering and controls. There's a little bit more body roll through corners than in the Sorento. And the sporty premise of the CX-9 isn't infallible. It feels busier over bumps and it's also audibly noisier as well. I think of these two cars, the Kia is the one that you're going to feel a little bit fresher jumping out of after an 8-hour road trip.
Under the bonnet of the CX-9 is a familiar 2.5 litre turbo petrol engine that makes 170 kilowatts and 420 newton metres. Like the Kia, it sends drive to all four wheels in this application via a slightly dated 6-speed torque converter automatic.
Being a petrol, the CX-9 feels a little bit perkier at the top end of the dial compared to the Kia. It doesn't quite have that same truck-like torque right down low, but I think the power delivery is more linear across the dial. We've already mentioned the hefty fuel use of the Mazda on the road. Its other letdown is probably engine noise. It's definitely the smoother and more refined of these two at low RPM, but rolling acceleration and once you're up to speed, it's actually more audible than the Kia's diesel. Now, it might not have the headline tech of the Kia, but the CX-9 is still a really nice place to be nonetheless. It's got gorgeous Nappa leather, soft contact points, and although the interior presentation and technology feels a little bit off the pace in this comparison, it does win key points back with a slightly longer boot area and excellent passenger amenity.
Upon closer inspection, the Mazda does fall short in some areas, missing out on the Kia's rear split-fold levers in the boot, a full-size spare wheel, air vents across all three rows, and the Kia's touchscreen capability. But seat and door materials do feel slightly plusher in the CX-9, and its longer overall length does liberate slightly more legroom across all three rows. The Kia is a clear winner in terms of ownership prospects, with a longer 7-year warranty in place of the Mazda's 5, as well as 15,000 kilometre servicing intervals. So while the Mazda is cheaper on paper to service over a 5-year period, if you're doing more than 10,000 kilometres annually, that figure will likely spike.
On a wild and woolly day, believe me when I say there is no better place to be than inside the cabins of these two quasi-luxury SUVs. And on that note, it's incredible just how far the Sorento and the CX-9 have come in terms of their overall luxury and refinement. But there can only be one winner, and that car today is the Kia Sorento. Cheaper, laden with tech and luxury, and better executed overall. It steps up the game massively for 2020.